the girl you're looking for isn't standing bent over a toilet in a nightclub at 1:47 a.m. She just isn't. And I know every hole is a goal. But should it really be that way? Is every hole a goal? Is that the point? Is that what bottom feeders say? I don't know about you guys, but I used to go to the club a lot more often back when I was in my early 20s, when I was in uni. And these days, the thought of a club girl, in all honesty, it's, I just can't shake that feeling of gross. Like, it's just gross. I mean, you guys have to be honest with yourselves. Those girls that you guys are taking back home after a night out, if you had a successful night, is what you'd call it, and the next morning, most of the time, you're not actually proud of what you've accomplished, of the hole that you scored. Because let's be real, the only reason you got her is because, well, she was drunk. And so were you. And so your standards actually lowered when you got drunk. And the next day, you're just thinking, this is below my standard. No wonder there are jokes going around where the girl you're going to bed with is a 7, but in the morning she's a 4. And you're like, how did that happen? And fair enough, it's a learning experience. But you guys deep down know that it's just gross. And I'm not saying you shouldn't go out and smash those hoes or have fun, but do it in a way where you don't feel like you're letting yourself down, where you just kind of feel afterwards that you probably shouldn't have done that because it doesn't feel good. And just the thought of that alone, of some club girls, it's just revolting because you don't know what's been inside of her. You don't know who else she's made out with that same night. And then what? You get the leftovers? I think as guys, we should just have a little bit more self-respect for ourselves. And I know when we're young and horny and we want to just go and get with every girl that you possibly can, but if I was to speak to some of you younger guys who have yet to go through that phase, and some guys do it more than others, especially the ones that devote their entire life in university to partying and going out. If you have nothing else going for you, well, what ends up happening is you just feel like this was your peak. You finished uni once you finish it, and that's it. What else is there? You're just looking for another reason to get out. And some of the most pathetic existences, and I've seen this with my own eyes, it's guys who graduate and you're still in school, and now because they went out to the adult world and they got a job, and they keep trying to almost invite themselves over just so they could go to the club one more time. But at that point, nobody cares about them anymore. When those low-level girls hear from that guy that, oh, I already graduated, I got a job, you might think it's a positive thing, and it should be because you got a job, you got on your feet. But those girls aren't looking for that. You're no longer in the game. You're just an outsider now. And it doesn't feel good. And seeing those guys try to get back at that life because that's all they know. That's all they ever did. And that's what made them feel justified and in general just feel good about being that guy and putting yourself out there. Well, it's really not like that. Because what ends up happening is, because your standards are now so low, you've allowed yourself to basically get with anyone, that how are you so sure the wife you're gonna pick, if you even pick at that matter, and she doesn't pick you first, that's gonna be, that the wife of your dreams, the girl of your dreams? Because it probably isn't, because your taste and your standards have gone down. Even though you meant for higher, you always looked at some of those girls and thought, that girl's out of my league, but maybe one day I'm gonna work on myself myself, I'll get better, and she's gonna look at me. And you never get there. And there could be a whole lot of reasons for that, but at least for the point I'm making in this video, you simply lowered your standards, and that happened without you even realizing it. Because you've eaten the low-hanging fruit all the time. Well, I don't mean eaten, but well, actually maybe even eaten. That's nasty. Anyway, we don't want to know where that yeast infection came from. But you're now okay with accepting less. Your body's okay with accepting less. And let's not sit here and pretend that, well, it's not just about how hot she is, or she might be a 10 on the inside, but on the outside she's just a 3. Let's just get all this out of the way. Because there are definitely girls that are beautiful, hot, pretty, and they're amazing on the inside too. So if you're just sitting there coping with yourself, telling yourself that it's okay to go for less while you're young, that ends up being your bottom line, your baseline. So this is meant to be a positive message, because essentially what I'm telling you guys is shoot higher. Yes, go ahead and go get with all those girls that you want to get with. But don't go for the bottom ones. Go for the best ones. Shoot your shot. It might be a little bit harder. It might be out of your league, but you never know. Maybe you'll have to improve a little bit, and then she's going to look your way. But do you know how much better it's going to feel for you afterwards that the girls you've been with, they're not all bottom feeders? They're not street hoes? I mean, who wants that? That's just shame. There are plenty of more places to look for girls that are going to be of higher level, and that could be in the gym, and I know in the gym is not the best place to go meet chicks, but also whoever says that, you're kind of making up excuses because it's going to be awkward later. No, it isn't. It doesn't matter. The girls who go to the gym are naturally going to be higher quality. They're not going to let everybody in. And maybe it's a girl that you meet in a coffee shop doing her work. Maybe she's reading a book. Maybe it's that girl that stays after class to do extra work because she likes to get the A grade. And just because you're a hooligan, you're some guy who isn't getting the best grades, and you might think you're not good enough for her. She's perfect. She gets all the good grades. That's bullshit. Girls actually like that. Do you think a girl who gets straight A's in school wants a guy exactly like her who also gets straight A's? No. That's conformity. She doesn't want a guy who does exactly what she does. That's boring. That's all she's ever known. So get out there and meet those girls. You'll be surprised, because if you're not a complete douchebag, then chances are she's gonna like you over all the douchebags that come and approach her anyway, right? So don't be afraid. You don't have to look for girls in the club. Leave that for the guys who can't get laid. And if you don't have a lot of confidence, well, the beautiful thing is that you've actually found yourself in the right place, because this is exactly what my channel's about. I talk about everything essentially that you would need as a young guy, and I'm going through myself. And I put out authentic content. I'm not just going to sit here and talk about something that I don't know myself. And I know what a struggle it is these days as a man to be part of society, because society is just set up so against us young guys. It's so, I wouldn't say hostile, but it's more so rejecting of men, or men being men. They want you to be a chick. They want you passive. But I've had to go through those things, and I'm nowhere near where I want to be. But you being in the space together with people like me and other like-minded individuals, you're not going to regret it. It's only going to give you more confidence. It's only going to make you a better person. And right now, I've actually launched a community where I'm going to be building from the ground up. This isn't for everyone. I don't want every random ass person joining and diluting the community. That's not going to happen. So there has to be some kind of minimum barrier for entry. It's going to be something like $10. And I'm really excited what we're going to be doing in there because I have a few things out already that I share in that community that I don't really necessarily put out to YouTube. And the rest is, I don't know. We're going to see where it goes. It's going to be heavily driven by you guys, with what you guys want. What do you want to see? What do you want me to talk about? Do you want me to share more stories? Do you want to make challenges? I'm open for anything. With that being said, if you guys just like to stick around in general, maybe I share relatable things, maybe you agree or disagree on some topics, feel free to follow me or share this with other people, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.